GiGi McKelvey. You are there in Idaho. You are watching jury selection. Tell us what the courtroom is like during this jury selection, GiGi McKelvey.
Well, we're here in Ada County at the Ada County Courthouse, and we're actually in an overflow room. We're not allowed inside the courthouse during jury questioning. And the individual voir dire is going off air. We can't even watch that. It's not full. There's some media here. I would say maybe 40, 45 people, but largely empty just on this first day of jury selection. It's been interesting. It seems like the jury, for the most part, don't have strong opinions about the case. And if that's how this is going to keep going, maybe we have a jury fairly quickly than what I assumed.
So the mood then that you're watching from the courtroom is that those who are intending to serve on the jury are saying they haven't prejudged this case despite all the publicity. So do you think that's real, GiGi?
Yeah, because I've talked to people locally just getting here last night who said, oh, why are you in Boise? I said, with the Lori Vallow trial. They'll say, what's that? So I think people just have their normal lives. Some people just aren't up in the true crime world. They don't watch news. So I think it's very possible that we get a jury here that's solid. And this morning, I was very surprised. There were a few that were released due to hardships with small children or job issues. But nobody has said, I've formed an opinion that would not allow me to be a fair juror on this trial. We haven't had any of that yet, not even close.
That is so interesting to me. But so, you're listening, so is the defendant, Lori Vallow Daybell. What has her demeanor been like, and have you seen any emotion out of her, and if so, when?
No emotion. She has talked to John Thomas a bit back and forth, and she's watching the jurors as they answer questions. She's writing down notes. So she seems to be actively participating in this jury selection. But overall, no emotion, though. Just nothing at all. And maybe that'll change when openings start. Who knows? But for right now, she's dressed in a black top, and she's got her glasses on and looks studious, sitting there doing her work. She might be doodling for all we know, though.
Well, we know two people that are very interested in this trial. Those are the parents of JJ that you just interviewed, and we showed clips of those interviews. Did they have any thoughts about the upcoming trial, and are they allowed to be in the courtroom to watch the trial?
We're waiting on that ruling to come down. We're hoping today Judge Boyce will issue that ruling. There's a question of whether or not they're considered victims under Idaho law. And so they are on the witness list to testify. So that's the biggest thing right now everybody's waiting for. And hopefully they just want to know all the pieces. Kind of like all of us, we have a good foundation. We have some of the puzzle put together, but there's a lot of big pieces that we're missing. And so I think for them too, they just want to know exactly what happened to their grandson, JJ, Tylee, and Tammy.
Did they say whether or not they had ever spoken to Lori Vallow about what happened to JJ? Because if people aren't following this trial, they may not know the answer to that question.
Yeah, Kay tried repeatedly to get in touch with Lori, to have contact with JJ. He was normally would FaceTime them sometimes 15 to 20 times a day, and that dropped off significantly until there was none. But she didn't talk to her on the phone. After, I believe about August was the last time they saw JJ on FaceTime, and then the communication just went away, and there were no response. And that's what led to the welfare check. It's just their inability to get in touch with Lori or JJ, or to even be able to see him on FaceTime for a minute.
And when you talk to them, how are they going to handle if they do get in the courtroom, or just this trial, because we've seen how they've been victimized already, even if they may not be victims under Idaho law?
I think their position as the representative for JJ, and they consider themselves the representatives of Tylee in this courtroom as well, just the strength, because Kay said she made a promise to JJ and Tylee when they found the bodies to make sure justice was served and to watch that process. So I think that resolve with them will give them the strength on the days where some very painful stuff's going to come out, for them to keep that promise to JJ and Tylee, because that is something that is so important to Kay and Larry both, and they reiterated that several times.
GiGi McKelvey, I know you have your hands filled with another trial here, this one in Idaho, about Lori Vallow Daybell, and is she guilty of murdering her two child along with her new husband in a conspiracy. GiGi, I hope to hear from you soon again. In the meantime, get back to watching that jury selection so you can let us know in the future what's happening.